attorney Emily Anderson with RSH Legal. In our workers' compensation system, there are two main types of injuries. The first is a body as a whole injury. This is an injury to the core of your body, like your head, neck, or back. The second is a scheduled member injury. This is an injury to a limb or an eye. These injuries are compensated very differently under Iowa law. To simplify it, the amount of permanent disability benefits available to injured workers with scheduled member injuries is much more limited than those with body as a whole injuries. Unfortunately, this can result in a relatively small amount of compensation for a serious limb injury. However, this may not be the case if an injured worker had an injury to a limb or eye that happened before the work injury. In that situation, the injured worker may have what is called a second injury fund claim. The second injury fund provides compensation to injured workers who had an injury in the past and then a work injury. There are a few rules that need to be true for the second injury fund to apply. The injury has to cause some degree of permanent impairment. The first injury needs to be to a limb or eye. The first injury does not have to happen at work, and it could have happened recently or several years in the past. The second injury has to be a work injury and also must cause some degree of permanent impairment. An injured worker with a second injury fund claim is entitled to a portion of 500 weeks of permanent disability benefits if they can return to work. If they are unable to return to work, they may receive lifetime permanent disability benefits. If you have suffered a work injury to an arm, hand, leg, foot, or eye, and you have a prior injury to any of those body parts, you may qualify for second injury fund benefits. Due to the significant caps on permanent disability benefits for injured workers who sustain scheduled member injuries, you should talk to an experienced workers' compensation attorney about the second injury fund. You may be able to receive second injury fund benefits and receive adequate compensation for your injuries. Not sure if you qualify? Call our office today at 1-800-433-0283 and speak with a workers' compensation lawyer.